Good morning everyone and welcome back to a new round of the Daily Gaming News in the New Byte. My name is Hostess and we got lots of news today, so let's begin, but I think we start with a sad topic first. Rather surprisingly, former StarCraft 2 pro and commentator Geoff iNcontroL Robinson dies at 33. The reason for that was apparently a sudden illness that overcome him over Saturday. And of course, the family is asking for privacy and they're trying to understand what happened and so on. They are suggesting to give donations to the Southern California Bulldog charity, which he loved. And he's not alone. Of course, all of his good friends, like Sean Plott, say, I've known Geoff for almost 20 years. We played Brood War in high school and college and did years of StarCraft 2 Brood War events together. Geoff was a one-of-a-kind person. I'll miss you, man. I'm so sad. And also, Victor Gosins, one of the Liquid team members, says, Geoff was an absolute pillar of the StarCraft and dearly loved by many. His passion was inspiring to witness. I'm struggling to wrap my head around this. Thank you for everything you've given us. My sincere condolences to all your loved ones. Yet again, the family asked to support the Southern California Bulldog Rescue Project, which we'll also link in the description down below. And moving on, actually rather more surprising and positive, though with a bitter undertone. In Brazil, Nintendo is not really that prominent right now, and so a Nintendo fan actually took it upon himself to deliver a Nintendo Direct style live video for the Brazil developer community. Though this was not only his work, the hard work of Rodrigo Coelho, I said it halfway right. He also worked together with, of course, developers for the games that they presented, like, for example, Chromo Squad, which I actually have seen already on PC, and it's good to hear that they're also working towards getting the game onto Nintendo Switch, and many, many more. I really encourage you to watch it yourself. This video is 24 minutes long, has subtitles for every language that I've seen so far, at least English and German, you know, and it's actually really, really good. A fantastic idea to just take upon themselves. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't, strike this video or something like that, but rather actually sees that there's a need to support also the Brazilian community. So, a link to the full non-Nintendo Direct is of course in the description down below, as much as the explanation of this article here. Moving on, also in still Nintendo news, we have also seen that a law firm in the US is actually filing a lawsuit against Nintendo for the Joy-Con's drifting issues. The drifting issue is simply to be described as if you hold the Joy-Con still and this stick is actually in the center position. Sometimes it still happens that the controller on screen shows like motion. It's noticeable, for example, in games like Pokemon Let's Go, where you're trying to, use the sticks and to center the screen, of course, on front of the Pokemon, and without doing anything, it drifts a bit to the left or right, and you can't hit the Pokeball anymore on the target. So the law office of Chemicals, Swartz, Kriner, and Donaldson Smith is filing a class action lawsuit against Nintendo, citing a common problem for many users. TSK and D was seeking testimonies from the public before moving forward and has now decided to file the suit. The full third-party page complaint can be, of course, viewed in the linked article here. And the basic gist of it is the complaint filed in the United States District Court for Western District of Washington alleges that the joysticks on Joy-Con controllers are defective, leading to users to experience drift issues. The complaint, filed on behalf of purchasers of Switches and Joy-Con controllers, brings claims under various consumer protection statutes as well as various warranty and common law claims. How this will continue, of course, will be interesting, and we are making sure that we follow the story to report here in the news as well. And on the other side, with Google Stadia, we have also more things coming around. There was a Reddit AMA that was held by Andrei Doronichev, and that was basically first off claiming that yes, Google Stadia is not the Netflix of games, but that there will still be coming at least one free game per month that you can get for free with your premium subscription. We also see that Ubisoft at least talking to calling to investors that actually porting games to the Google Stadia platform isn't that costly and actually very easy to do, as they say. Yves Guillemot said that the cost of porting to Stadia is not that high and that it's part of their pipelines now. So we have already 6 games that are being launched on Google Stadia right away, that it starts in November, and Watch Dogs Legion is following also the Google Stadia platform as soon as it is launching next year. So yeah, sounds like it's not that hard for other people to jump on it, at least when you're a AAA developer. So that's going to be interesting how many more are also jumping on the platform as well. And talking about Ubisoft, and a side note, actually, in the same investors call, we also heard that Rainbow Six Quarantine will actually quarantine, I think, will be released before the end of the fiscal year, so that will be before April 2020. So nothing yet of, but at least it won't take another full year. Then in Death Stranding news, which we also have, we finally have the box art for the game, which you can see here, with our man Sam Bridges, played by Reeves, and of course for the special Steelbox edition, we have basically the same look on his face, but with a different screenshot here. This one was also used a lot in promotion pictures as well so far. This one, not so much. And since San Diego Comic-Con was, which I will skip mostly, because I really want to focus on gaming news alone this time, we also have more details from Hideo Kojima about characters like the character of Nicholas Winning Refn in Death Stranding, and many more, like details how he actually was suggested to get Keanu Reeves for one of his main roles, but Hideo Kojima actually wanted Mads Mikkelsen and stick to it. And I think it's actually a good choice, because this would have been a lot of Keanu Reeves in my video games soon. And although I like the guy, as much as I can like him so far, I like there's also other characters, and I like that there's also other faces in video games. Of course, full story and links are in the description down below if you want to read more about them. And then one really cool article, which I have to read myself first, is a guest post written by Jeremy Blaustein, and he actually was one of the translators for the original Metal Gear Solid. It's a whole long post here. I'll just leave it up for you to read yourself, but wanted to point out that, hey, this is happening. Maybe do an actual video focusing on the story itself, because it seems to be that interesting. But if you want to read it yourself first, of course, the link to that is also in the description down below. Moving on to all our interesting developer things from the past, actually. The Sims developer Don Hopkins released a bunch of design documents from The Sims, including this one from August 1998, where we're talking about same-sex marriages and romance options. It's quite interesting what he had to say about this. And it says, the whole relationship design and implementation, I've looked at the trio code, is heterosexist and monosexist. We're going to be expected to do better than that after the Simcopter fiasco and the lip service that Maxis publicly gave in response about not being anti-gay. And it says it would be much more realistic to model it by two numbers from 0 to 100 for each person, which was the likelihood of that person being interested in a romantic interaction with each sex. We can simply model monosexual, heterosexual, which is all we have now, monosexual, homosexual, like the guys in Syncopter, bisexual, non-sexual, monophysical, presumably, and all shades in between, which is most of the rest of the world's population. It will make for a much more interesting and realistic game, partially influenced by random factors, and anyone offended by that needs to grow up and get a life, and hopefully our game will help them in that quest. Like, this is honey. This is awesome. There's also another person that posted this actual decision tree here, which you can, of course, look into yourself. Again, we have to basically just brush the whole thing. There's also additionally a good article here from PC Gamer as well around the whole subject, so check it out yourself. But I found this was really worth sharing with you guys. And then next up we have two industry giants leaving their companies. First up we have Tim Willits, who is leaving id Software after 24 years, and he's going to leave after QuakeCon, which is, wow, one big part of the news. The other half is actually after Blizzard co-founder Mike Morhaime stepped away last month from Blizzard. We also have now the Blizzard co-founder Frank Pierce, who is also leaving the company after 28 years even. So there's lots of movements, especially in that area. Good luck, of course, for the next projects, whatever they're gonna do. And yeah, just so you know, there's still lots of things happening. Of course, with Cyberpunk, we have more news as well for that. We have two bits of information. The Cyberpunk 2077 hardcore mode will let you turn off the UI, which is nice. And apparently you can actually get this Akira-inspired motorbike as well, as this was posted as a new screenshot from the game. It was strongly hinted at that you can get this vehicle and many, many more on your journey. Another bit of disappointing news, however, we have Wargroove, which is actually not getting crossplay, unlike its game on Nintendo Switch, Windows PC, and Xbox One, where they do. So Sony is yet again blocking crossplay, which is another sad news to say. But at least, for the fans that play Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a second VR experience actually, and it will actually be showing off the Olympus Coliseum. made by Square Enix. Of course, we also have another news, and that is actually that the demo, at least video footage, will be released after Gamescom from the Avengers game. So if you have thought, well, what is actually the gameplay look like after you just saw the trailer? Well, apparently they're gonna drop that after Gamescom, just like Cyberpunk 2077 will have its gameplay demo scene released after Gamescom. We definitely have lots of work to do at Gamescom and after Gamescom as well, which we'll visit, of course, this year as well. And since we're at Marvel, just a quick look. Yeah, we also have the new project timeline here for Phase 4 of the Marvel movies. I gotta say, I'm not that much interested anymore. Maybe Thor, but that takes in his, 2 more years to get here. So, yeah, it's nice. But after, Spider-Man Far From Home, I'm pretty much done with it now. And somebody had to look at it. But still, yeah, Endgame has finally made it. And after a re-release into theaters, they did it. They're now the #1 most grossing movie of all time. Congratulations.